In this lesson, you will learn how to white balance your clips. Now, most of the time when you think about color correction, this is the thing that you're thinking about. How do I correct the colors because the white balance is off? Maybe the clip was shot under some strange color temperature lights or some lower quality color temperature lights. Maybe the white balance was set wrong on the camera. These are all problems that you need to deal with, and I'm going to really quickly show you a few ways to handle it. Now, first, I want to show you some kind of reference, which is why I've included this Bode with color checker. This color checker here is a reference color target. And although there's not an automated way to use this target in Premiere, or at least to use these color chips, we can use these black, gray, and white values here to pretty quickly get a nice white balance on this image. So let me show you how that works. The first thing you want to do is grab the three-way color corrector. I want to zoom in here to 200%. And so first, grab the shadow white balance color picker here and click the dark part of the image. Then grab the midtones, click this middle gray here, and then grab the highlights color picker and choose the white. Now, it still may not be 100% correct, so we can grab a fast color corrector, grab the white balance here, and just pick this guy right here. And let's check this out. With these two effects here, we can get the colors pretty much dialed in a matter of seconds here. So that's one way to do it. If you have some kind of reference in your shot, if you have something that you know is pure gray or you know is pure white and it's not clipped, or you know you have something that's very, very dark gray and doesn't have any color in it, you can use these little color pickers here to get the shot close. I'll show you another example. You can also just kind of eyeball this and say, okay, this looks way too orange. So over here in Lumetri Color, I can just push this towards blue. And I'll push this maybe a little bit more magenta. So it may be that I need to come down here to the color wheels and push the shadows more towards blue or cyan to balance out this stuff down here. Because if the shadows look warm, that kind of skews your eye. So I would say that that looks a lot closer, kind of balancing out these darker shadow regions here with the red, green, and blue. And that to me looks pretty close. These buildings look right. I'm guessing that these lights have an orange glow, and so that actually looks right. But if I uncheck this, you can see there's a massive difference there. So you have to use a little knowledge of what lights look like and which direction to push it, but basically it kind of works in opposites. If it's too orange, you push it more to this kind of cyan-y blue color here. If it's too green, you push it towards magenta. Let's look at another example really quick. Here's a shot of some colored pencils, and this was shot under some lower quality compact fluorescent lighting. And at first glance, you'd say, well, maybe that doesn't look too bad, but I would say that that looks green. So let me show you one way that you can isolate a part of the image and make an adjustment. I'm going to grab the crop effect, throw that on here. I'm going to click on it, and that brings up these bounding boxes here. And I'm just going to move these to only select this white portion right here, which is actually, it's not white, it's kind of a very light gray. Then I'm going to click zoom, and that's going to fill the image with this, which is going to make reading these scopes a heck of a lot easier, because if it's like this, you can see that I can't really see exactly what's going on. It's more difficult. So by filling the frame full of this information, it's a lot easier to see what's going on here. And what I can see from the RGB scope here is that things look a little bit green. So I could come up here to my basic correction and push this towards magenta, and it'll bring the green down and bring the red and the blue up a little bit. But now things are looking a little blue, so I may have to kind of balance these guys out with that green. And my goal here is just to try and level out these scopes to make this light gray color even with red, blue, and green. I would say something like that is pretty close. It's not exact. Now check out what happens when I take this crop effect off. This is what it was before, and this is what it is now. You can see that the before image definitely looks green, and the corrected image looks better. But a lot of times I use this crop effect here to isolate a specific part of the image and then color correct to that. Really quickly, I'll show you one more example here. I'm just going to hazard a guess that this building over here is gray. So I'm just going to isolate that, zoom on it, and then make an adjustment here to neutralize what's going on here. Just like that. So that looks pretty close to gray. Neutralizing that. Then I take the crop effect off. And now I have an image that looks perhaps a little bit more correct. This part of the image right here, this building, like I said, I don't know if that's actually gray, but I was just guessing. And I think that looks right. But if I wanted to back this off a little bit, maybe that's a happy medium. And that definitely looks better to my eye than that. That definitely looks too blue, and that looks more correct. Now that you know how to adjust the color temperature and color cast of your clips, you're ready to move on to the next lesson, where you're going to learn how to use the vector scope to check skin tones.